Okay, so we've got China 3, but it's a deathless speedrun. So rules are very simple here. We can't lose any units, and we got to do this as fast as possible. And also bonus challenge, I am not going to use any general powers here. I've been looking forward to this one. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get our battle masters, and we're going to take out the demo trap. We've got another listening outpost on the way to one of the other demo traps, and it's also near a cache pile. So we want to get the cache as fast as possible here. So we're building up a couple of supply centers, and you may have noticed that I built them in a way where it's pointed towards the supplies. Now, reason for this is that if you position it just right, the trucks will hardly move, or in some cases they won't even move at all when collecting the supplies. I am not the best at doing that, so that is why I've built 2 supply trucks. The optimal way is if you just build 1 supply truck, so you'd have 2 at each supply center. So I wanted to go for 3 each, that way I can still maintain the cache, even though I'm not that good at the supply center positioning. So now we're going with a command center, and we're selling off our first command center, and reasons for that is because this command center that we're building is going to act as a meat shield. See, the command center can actually take some of the hits from the GLA forces, but you also got to make sure that you position your defense in a way where the defenses aren't taking the hits, so you want to have it a little bit back. Now, with our listening outpost, we're slowly but surely inching our way closer to another cache crate. So again, cache is going to be very, very important to this battle. Now, trying to get to the other Stinger site, but getting interrupted by Scorpion tanks. And I want to get to that Stinger site so then I can get to the statue, of course, because the aim of the game here is to destroy the statues, so then you can get as much international opinion as you can. We can't let the international opinion go to 0, otherwise we lose. So now moving in on that Stinger site, now being very, very careful with these battle masters. Again, this is deathless, so I gotta make sure they don't get taken out. Now with our other 2 battle masters there, trying to take out the Scorpion so then there's no interference. That's another thing. Whilst the dozers are building Gatling cannons like here, they are a viable target for those Scorpions, and I'm trying to get away. The Gatling cannons don't have the chain gun upgrade. I got super, super lucky there, and my dozer survived with 1 HP. So now we're going to build up another Gatling cannon. You want to have about 6 or 7 to make this strategy work. That's what I found works. So with our last battle master, we're actually attacking the statue. And you're probably wondering, okay, why have you gotten 1 battle master on its own attacking a statue? And why did you just stop attacking the statue? So there is a method to the madness here. What we want to do is we want to attack whatever statues nearby, but not take them out straight away. We want to leave it with 1 HP. And you'll find out later what I'm actually about to do, because I haven't seen anyone else do this strategy to do China 3. If you do this strategy, China 3 is a joke. Pretty much anyone could do this. So going back to the listening outpost, now we're inching our way closer to that cache crate. Now with the listening outpost, I'm inching my way closer and closer because there's all of those patrolling units near the statue, and if they spot you, they're gonna attack you. So I want to be as careful as I can. See, now here's where you'll see what's going on. So I built a speaker tower scaffold and another one where the bikes are. So doing that is actually going to draw those vehicles out, and they're going to aim for your base defenses because that's the closest thing. Now I'm selling off my war factory because I don't need to build any units. The dozer and the supply trucks, those are all the units that I actually built in this challenge. So here's the strategy. You build speaker tower scaffolds right next to the statue, and the rocket fire from the stinger sites and the rocket troops inside the garrison buildings can actually damage the statues for you. Now going back to listening outpost, we drew out those bikes from earlier so then we can get to the cash crates. I did play around with the idea of using red guards to capture oil derrick, but I'm pretty happy with the amount of cash that I'm generating. See, like I said, if you position those supply centers just right, you can get enough cash to do the scaffolds to each statue and beat the GLA pretty quickly. So we're floating on a lot of cash here. Now, if you were to do this mission without getting the cash crates or without optimizing your supply centers, you could still beat this mission. It will take a little bit longer. Now, starting off, I did this mission in around about 13.5 to 14 minutes, so it's still very, very doable. Now, when it comes to international opinion, it does mean that you'll have to deal with some more GLA attacks, but if you're trying to like beat the mission, not trying to like do a deathless like I am, then yeah, you could do this pretty easily. Other strategies that I've done would be like a double command center meat shield. That's another one I did starting off, and I felt the attacks on the left don't really hit as hard, and I feel like whatever I got on the left could handle it. So that's why I've left the left a little bit more unguarded compared to the right. Now, going back to what we're doing, we got the Battle Masters that did the same thing to another statue, 1 HP, and now we're just scaffolding another statue. And with this one, I kind of changed tactics halfway through. I ended up swapping to the other statue off to my right. Now, by doing the scaffolds, you're actually luring GLA vehicles towards your base. Now, my plan here was scud launchers. See that scud launcher that just hit the statue? I was thinking maybe, just maybe, the scud launcher will hit the statue that we're scaffolding right now. The one that hit on the right, I mean, that's just a pleasant surprise. I just got good RNG with this. So I'm not going to be able to get a speedrun time under 10 minutes like I did with this one. It's going to be very difficult to pull it off, because I was playing really well, and I did have some good RNG with that scud launcher too. And with the scud launcher firing, it means that in terms of the cash situation, you're not going to need as much cash to destroy each of the statues. See, I've gone under 10 grand now, so if the scud launcher didn't hit the statue, then I might need like an extra 3 or 4 grand potentially, depending on how much damage it does to the statue. Like if it hits directly or if it goes like nearby. Really just depends on that positioning. So now, this is the last statue before we actually make our big move. So this one we're actually going to destroy, and we're going to do scaffolds to destroy each statue. Now that it's at 1 HP, it won't take very much. So got to act very fast here using whatever cash we got left. See, we're sort of running low, but we've still got enough to get us by. Special mention to Admiral Itty. They were the one that came up with the challenge to do 0 Hour Deathless. They couldn't quite get China 3 right, which is what inspired me to try and do China 3 Deathless. So if you're watching this, Itty, this is how I did it. I highly recommend you give it a go. I'm sure you'll get the win, easy. Anyways, I'm Crikolo. I do have a Command & Conquer Generals playlist if you want to see any of my other challenges. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. We'll wait for the stats. Wait for the stats. 0 deaths. I'll see you next time.